Hot facts. Come and get them hot facts, hot facts. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. With Robert Reese. Hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Get them hot facts. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. Come and get them hot facts. With Robert Reese. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Hot facts. Gig economy. Robert Reese. News channel. The gig economy. News channel. Hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts. 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 Hey. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts. Hot facts. Hot facts. Robert Reese. Gig economy. News channel. Hot facts. With Robert Reese. Sit back, relax, and listen. Come on. Get these hot facts. K-Reese 007 for hot facts. With Robert Reese.
People, I'm fired up. Let's do it again. People, I'm fired up. Let's show my face. People, I'm fired up. I got Coach Eli. People, I'm fired up. So what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Hot Facts with Robert Reese. For those of you who don't know, I am the official news channel of the gig world. Give it up to everybody out there who represent the gig world. I've had a chance to meet some extremely talented people here on YouTube and other communities. Big up to Necro getting bags. He pulled in Chaotic Truth yesterday. Chaotic Truth hopped up there. He hopped up there. He said, "What's up, Reese?" I thought that was big. Hey, you meet some really intelligent people who understand what they're doing. I'm going to ask Eli about something that happened with Chaotic Truth and what he revealed about himself. Go check out Necro getting bags if you want to know what I'm talking about. Truth was on there, and he said something that most of us will never say, but he's doing it, and he's publicly doing it right now. Go ahead and check it out, and say what's up to Necro getting bags, and tell him how facts with Robert Reese sent you over there. Woo, people! Normally we talk about gig stuff, but we all know that this is the best podcast in all of whatever. I am the only person that has the privilege and the honor to be able to get the stories and life details of one, Eli, Coach Eli. He just goes by Eli, just one name. You know who we talking about. You already know. I have had the opportunity to work with this gentleman, and it has been a blast. I know some of you guys are like, what the hell is he talking about? It's been a blast working with Eli. it's been a blast working with Coach Eli. Okay, it's been a full blast. He does things that are really not normal from what someone would say normal is. But when you actually listen to the man on how he explains it, because he is very detail oriented, unless you pay attention to full details, you're not going to understand everything that he is saying. I've had a blast. I'm glad he's going to be here today. This is episode number 8. We got 8 people here in the chat. Go ahead and leave them thumbs up. Let's match that there. This is number 8 in the podcast. So we got 10 here. Let's get 10 thumbs up there. This is episode number 8. And I never thought that after the first interview, I would actually be involved with an individual and getting a lot of work done. And it's been a lot of great work. So thank you, Eli, for that. If you are a content creator, you will understand what content is, what true content is, what real organic content is. When you can settle down and figure out what it is you want to do, you can find some organic content for yourself that people will watch. That's what it's all about. Without that, ain't no one paying attention to nothing you got to say. And we all know that Eli is one that has a lot to say, same as I. I wanted him on here now. If Eli is almost ready, let me see. Can someone check the chat right now? I want Eli to be up here pretty soon. I know I said 10:30, but everybody knows. If someone can, because I know Eli is sneaky. Eli will go live any moment to go promote. So can someone go spy on Eli right now and see if he's doing his secret live right now and tell him that he is called to be on stage? Let Eli know that. Eli, yes, we go ahead and get you in. I'm gonna do one thing right now because we have a visitor. We have a visitor here in What's Up AZ Prod. Fist talk to you. We have a visitor here in the chat set section. I know you guys can see that it says Mrs. because she's married. So, and it says Anna Rom. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put this up here. We're gonna go ahead and make this public. This is Mrs. Anna Rom, the wife of the scumbag and slumball J. Rom, the one who said all those nasty things about my son who is deceased. I would like your apology, Mrs. Now, she is the wife of him. And because of the hatred of Eli, they want to make sure that they show their face and say that they thought they were watching the restream. Well, I'm going to tell you this, Mrs. Anna Rom, since you had enough courage to click that when your husband's a fucking man, ooh-wee, you already know you live with him. If he says that stuff publicly, I wonder, I'm not even going to say. But this is what I'm going to do right here. Since you feel it's A-okay to be here for a restream, I'm going to go ahead and hit mute. I'm going to play some more of my copyrighted music right now. And I'll play this right now for you. You guys have a good time restreaming this. All right, so for everyone that is trying to restream, I will be playing copyrighted music at random times throughout this. Is there something wrong in the chat or something? So for any of you guys restreaming, I will be playing copyrighted music periodically throughout this. So if you are you came over here as Mrs. J. Rom, you're not welcome here either. So I'm gonna have Eli up here also, and he already told you guys that you guys can't do with his stuff because he knows all the legal rights. So can someone go ahead and Mrs. Anna J. Rom, the wife of uh the dirtbag that said the most ridiculous things about my son who was deceased. Can someone kick her out of here and ban her from the channel? Because she's banned too. He doesn't get a pass. That was my mistake by not going and searching her up and banning her too. That was my mistake. I'll take that one. But since you guys are saying that you will restream and do all these other things, just because I'm talking to Eli, I will be throwing copyrighted music all over. Now, let me go ahead and check these. Go ahead and check these. Check these. Check these. We got about 15 minutes, and Eli should be on up in just a little bit. But we're gonna go over a few things. I'm gonna let Eli hear some things that he has not heard, coming from the gig world and people that are. I'm not gonna say and give that up. We're gonna talk about the scumbag Rom, and we'll talk about that because Eli actually told the truth, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to ask Eli some things about executing some things on what he says. Okay, we're also going to go into a different topic there that I'm going to get Eli's his understanding on, and then we're going to go on one more category there. We're going to go over that, and then there's going to be a surprise. And when the surprise comes, Eli's going to figure out what it is, and the rest of you will figure out what it is also, because there's going to be a surprise after we get through those. And yeah, but I would like to say, for those of you who actually come on to Hot Facts with Robert Reese, okay, if you come on to Hot Facts with Robert Reese, and we know that we have a lot of trolls out there. We have a lot of trolls out there. What's going on here? What's going on here in the chat? What's going on in my chat? Hold up. Hold up. Starville. What did Starville say? What Starville say? I'll start from Starville's and then go from there. Let me see. AZ Prods right here. I see Starville's right here. Eli's live also. Starvos, he always goes live when we're about to go ahead and do a live. Eli does that every single time. See, how was everybody today? What is the okay? So let me go ahead. Miss Amelia is Mrs. Reed. Thank you. My bad, Mrs. Reed. Eli is streaming. I know he's streaming. I always address him. I don't know. I don't understand what the fuck's going on. So Eli should be on. It's scheduled for, you guys know that Eli is on time, but then he's off time. So it's scheduled for 10:35. So don't say that Eli is streaming and he's doing this and that. Every single interview on the podcast that we have going on, Eli comes in right there. It's not disrespectful of Eli to come in when he's supposed to come in. All right, so Starvos. Let me go ahead, Starvos. All right. Obviously, you don't know nothing about Hot Facts then. You don't know nothing about Hot Facts. I put just a random time up and I start my live. I just throw a time up. I don't go and say my live is going to start at this time. I say it verbally, and then verbally, whoever heard my start time, they understand what my start time is. Now, my start time is just like for me, so I can be on before I'm going to go ahead and get it in. I always start way ahead of time on anything, because guess why? As long as I can get up here, and this is some information for anyone that has a channel, okay? For anyone that has a channel and anyone that wants to actually grow and get better in public speaking, start your show early so that you can get all the jitters out of yourself, so you can actually be ready for what you're going to be ready for. It says, Robert, will you talk to Eli about accepting my debate challenge? I followed the rules and guidelines of your channel respectively, sir. Now, see, this is what I got to talk about here. When you came on and showed your face on my actual live, I ran that by Eli twice. Eli responded out loud twice. I then came on my own live and gave his answer on what he said. So we're good. I asked him, he gave his answer, and I reported on what his answer was. I don't know what else you want me to do. Also, yesterday, during my live episode, Eli was here in the chat, and he said in the chat what he does not want to speak about. So, I'm doing the honest work to give the honest answers and do it honestly, step by step. You said at the start he was due on. No, I said, can someone go get him? He is due on. Now, if someone goes and let Eli know that he's due on, that's gonna see Eli starts his normal show. He'll say like 3 o'clock, right? Or like, let's say 3:15. Eli won't start until like 4:20. So when I say, Eli, you're due, and I say, can someone go ahead and let him know? That's going to let him know, so it puts it in his mind that Reese is already on. I cannot do what I normally do. You have to understand how this works, okay? You can't just start saying things when you don't understand how it works. That's why a lot of people out there, they lack in the interpersonal skills to understanding who they are working with. I'm working with Coach Eli, okay? With authentic live streams. Authentic means that you have to understand he has a certain way on how he does things, man. And you got to work with him on that. So everybody else that turns him down, right now they're looking into Hot Facts with Robert Reese to get information so that you guys can actually pay attention to what's going on, but you guys are still watching him. So if you guys have done all the process and getting banned and everything else, and you cannot get anywhere through with him, at least give the process a chance if you know that this is episode number 8 of Hot Facts and Eli. At least give it there. At least give it there. Eli knows he's coming on. He promoted it in the chat. He's spoken about it in the beginning of the chat. I think he sent Don over to see if it was up. So Eli knows what he's doing. You guys are, why do you guys think he doesn't know? And like, my question is, for you guys out there watching this right now before he gets on up here, my question is this: why do you guys think, and this goes to everybody in the chat, why do you guys think Eli doesn't know anything? Like, why do you guys not think that he is a calculated individual? Like, why do you guys think that? I would like to know, because it seems that time after time again, he proves you guys wrong. And he's like laughing in your face. So I'm just trying to figure out why you guys think he knows nothing about anything. Everybody has their own opinions. And whenever people get up and speak, most people say, I respect your opinion. How come you guys don't respect his opinions, but you want people to, like, accept your opinions? I'm trying to figure that out. I jumped into that group that went all the way. Eli, look, people, I'll be there in 5 to 7 minutes. I'm just finishing a stream to promote the show. People, don't you ever disrespect Eli like that when he coming on. This is our show. Do you understand that Eli does a show? I do a show. This is our show together. You got to understand that. And, like, I'm about to stick up for the dude. Who is this? Coach Troy. Did you know he told everyone I was sponsoring his channel and told him I go on vacation months after I died? What the hell does that just means? That if you said that yourself, you make yourself look like an idiot because you just typed that. So you're an idiot. You got to type something better than that. Because rarely, all right, it says, because he rarely knows how to handle things. Going on your live stream, 30 to 45 minutes late every time. It's disrespectful to every single person who goes to watch, but you sit there and wait to give it a time frame on how long he actually takes. So you're watching, you like him. Quit hating on that. You actually like him. Can someone put a laughing emoji up? Jeffrey will not kick you out. Put a laughing emoji up for that one right there, because, like, damn. Mama Goonie in the house. Mama Goonie got up here and shared some. And what's up, Mama Goonie? Mama Goonie, my wife respects you there. You gave some what they say in the UK, some proper words for the mate. Let me see. Coach Troy Brewer. Troy Brewer died in October. The next May, he was saying Troy told him to go on vacation or else. Well, we have a lot of trolls out there. People that have, like what Eli says, sock accounts. We got people like Glitch Dash, who was upset that I put member only chat, because for all the trolls that you have that you were going to go ahead and troll on my channel to show disrespect, I had it so that all your troll accounts have to pay money. So there are a lot of people out there with troll accounts. And if someone told him that, then someone told him that. You're making fun of the dude because Eli will believe until he sees that it's wrong. And then he's the one that gets made fun of. That's what you do in elementary school. So we're all grown people here. That's why I love doing these interviews, because when I hear you guys say these things, I can go ahead and read what's going on, and I can smash you guys myself. And then how I smash you guys have no comebacks. Let me see what else is here. Oh, Eli says, can you send the StreamYard link again? Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. People, hold on really quick. I'm gonna go ahead and send that. I'm gonna post it up for you right now. Eli, be right back. Hold on for this break, people. All right, Eli, check that out. I put the link there. Go ahead and check that out. Go ahead and click the link. It is up there on the stage. Eli, I just told them that, Eli. You're all good. You're all good, Eli. I just told them that. So they should all know, Eli, and it should be up there in the chat. I do believe you guys should say it says StreamYard up there. There you go. It is right there. Eli said he's going to get some coffee. So go ahead and click that link. This is going to be a good one. So, well, you got to ask like 90% of the people in the gig world that. Necro getting bags. Go ahead and check out Necro getting bags. Check out Necro getting bags. Jeffrey went ahead and hit him up. My sound's going in and out. Let me see. All right. Should be a little better. Should be a little better. Should be a little better. All right. So let me see. The link is up there. Eli, whenever you get up there, it is up there. I think when I went over to go post the link again, I think it did that. All right. It's fine. All right. Oh, can you ask Robert if he will allow questions, allow well the audience to ask questions? Yes, of course. Of course. Why not? Why not? But you got to understand though. You got to understand. You got to understand the flow of the show. And when I see a question that I can put into what we are speaking about, no problem. No problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever. Now, I know you say that you appreciate the freedom of speech of this chat. Hashtag, Jeffrey is his own boss. Then I have moderators. I have managing moderators. Then I have standard moderators. Jeffrey runs his own show. I adjusted him so he's not so cutthroat, but Jeffrey don't play no games. He will kick you out, or hell, or time you out is what I. Jeffrey will time you out. So understand who Jeffrey is. Eli wants to be Pedro. Emilia Reese is a beautiful lady. Robert Reese is a lucky guy. If that's how you're trying to sucker in to be a prominent troll, you gotta do a whole lot more work than that. You gotta do a whole lot more work than that. So, because you do that, and I'm paying attention, right? And you try to sneak in a nasty Eli, despicable comment in there, moderators go do work. So just tread lightly. Just tread lightly on your trolling on Hot Facts. This is not the same channel you are used to trolling on. I'm like Martin. I'll throw you out. Now, if you would like to see more of what my wife does, go over to my other channel and watch all the workout stuff, and then head over to the New You Personal Training with That's With Me Hot Facts, and go check out what she does when she works out. Give some thumbs up and show some love if you're not a troll. I'll appreciate that. Here he is. Here he is, the man of the hour. The man of the hour. Let me bring him up. So I got a prize for this man. Let me see. Oh, yes, here he is. Let me go ahead and click this at the stage. People. Get this. We have the one, the only. We got Coach Eli in the building. Coach Eli is in the building. How you doing, Coach Eli? And I like that backdrop. I like that backdrop.
Thank you, Robert. How you doing as well? I'm doing quite well. Thank you for having me on this show, man. All is well on the Western Front.
On the Western Front. Oh, I would like to say thank you also. Yesterday during your live, you said you're going to do this for Hot Facts. You went ahead and showed me some of that good view right there, and I did appreciate it. And it kind of looks similar to what you got behind you right now. So I do appreciate that. People, if you're on the right side with Eli, he'll do the right thing for you. And that means he pays attention to his followers and people out there. Let's give it a round of applause for that one. Give him a round of applause for that one right there. Eli, how you
Thank you,
doing,
Robert.
man?
I'm doing quite well. How about yourself, Robert? Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you and your wonderful wife and your family and all of your wonderful friends. And thank you once again for having me.
Man, hey, Eli, I'm doing all right, man. Cannot complain. We are above ground. We are not below ground. So we can smell the
That's
fresh
true.
air. We can touch an apple in a tree. We can see a squirrel run. We can look at birds fly. We have the ability to do a
Mhm.
lot of things that a lot of people can't do. Especially here in America, we have the freedom to walk down the street without being hit by suicide bombers and things like that. And, hey, I'm all right with all that. So I'm good. I'm good. I
That's
am
great to
good.
hear. That's great to hear, man. Great to hear. Can
Now,
you hear me
Eli,
okay? Am I coming through?
yeah, you are all the way fine. Now, I kicked out J Rom's wife. She came in earlier saying that they were trying to restream this. So I told them that periodically I'm going to play some of my copyrighted music. So it'll be playing there, and I don't know what they think is going on or what they're going to try to make up if they're doing something. I know they're not doing it on YouTube, but wherever they're doing it at, I'm just letting them know that people, you will hear pre-recorded copyright music here throughout this whole live stream. So just be fair warned that I will be doing that. So I'm just letting you guys know ahead of time. Now, and I kicked her out and banned her from the chat. I banned her. So he's not welcome and she's not welcome either. They're a couple. They are a duo. So since they're married, since they're married, they are one person. So they both got to go. So I kicked her out. I don't know
It's
anything
your
what they're trying to
choice.
pull. Well, I don't know what they're gonna try to pull and what they might try to say. I don't like them, and I know you don't like them. So they just don't have no right to be in here. So I just gave them the boot. So it is what it is. If you guys don't like it, don't come back. Don't even try again. All right. And if you come as a troll, please try to hide it because I'm gonna kick that one out too. You ain't welcome over here on Hot Facts. I need an apology from both of you, a sincere one for what you said and on how you hurt my family. So until that day happens, don't you ever try to come back. Your ass is getting the boot. That's coming from Hot Facts with Robert Reese. I don't play them games.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Eli, I want this one to be a little bit different from what we normally do when we get up here. I'm asking you a lot of questions. I'm only going to ask you a
Okay.
bit, okay? And what we are going to do is we're going to switch it so that when I am done, you're going to be able to bring to my audience Coach Eli talking to Hot Facts and asking me questions. We're going to flip it. So I'm going to go, and then you're going to go on me, and then we're going to flip it. All right?
Okay.
All right. All right. So,
I'm always prepared for the unexpected, Robert. I've been doing podcasting and videos for decades, and man, nothing throws me off, man. I'm ready to rock. I can go on the fly. Let's do it, man.
all right, let's do it. All right. The first thing I'm going to talk about, because we know that you came from the gig world, you just left the gig world, you announced it, you've been gone for about a week and a half. And I let you hear about some of the nasty things that were coming up with the hate speech and all the other stuff. And there was a gentleman that had some words about you, and you gave him a message, and you let him know. You let him know. I'm talking about Cherry Pick. Well, what Cherry Pick did, I guess, yesterday, he put a short video up. Were you aware of the short video?
I have not been paying attention to any drama for the last
Okay.
several days. I've been on a drama detox, but you can let me know what happened,
All
and
right.
I'll give
Well,
you my
well,
response.
I'm gonna show you the short so that you can hear because his short is in response to what you said to him. So he didn't go on
Mm-hmm.
anyone's channel or in a chat. He made a short. So when I
Okay.
heard the short, I said, well, if you're gonna do it and Eli don't know, he has to know because you can't be in the dark hiding and saying what you're gonna say. At least be man enough to so he knows it's you. Don't be a
Mm-hmm.
chicken and run. Did
Okay.
he take it down? He took it down. He took them down. He took and he took the neck rolling down also, huh?
Mm.
Oh, he took them down.
Oh, probably a smart move, Robert, due to the new CEO who's actually applying the YouTube community guidelines that have been around for over a decade. So, I
I knew I
mean,
should have screen
these
recorded
people,
that. That was my fault.
it's all right. You can tell me what happened and I'll respond to it,
Well,
Robert.
I'll
You can
tell
just give
you.
me your
All right,
synopsis of it.
so yeah, so pretty much what he said, "Hey Eli." He said something about take this down or something, or whatever he said. It was something in those words. And then he played some music and he said, Eli, Upussy. He said it like
Mm.
that. And he was trying to taunt you, but
Mm.
it's not up there. I was gonna let you see that so you can, but he took it down already. So I'm guessing he knows who he's messing with. Would that be a fair
Mm.
assumption?
Yeah, and I can say this, Robert, if him or anyone else wants to call me a pussy, that's clearly their opinion based on freedom of speech, and I can just ignore it. That's all.
Okay, well, cherry pick.
You know, I
Uh, well, let me go ahead and say this to him. Cherry pick. Look, cherry pick. You say you're prominent for going at the DoorDash revolution. Hot facts with Robert Reese. You go at Pedro. You go at Flex. You're going at Necro right now. You put the cucumber and the gherkin is hit in his mouth and everything else right there. You did all that stuff. You'll go at everybody else and say it. But when it came to
Mhm.
Eli, you took it down and ran. So I'm gonna let you know this, cherry pick. We're seeing where your cojones are. We have a lot of people that talk trash. We have some who are upfront and they want to go extreme with, but at least they get up and try to say you did something and ran away. So I cannot respect that. I don't know what type of man you are. Eli, I know you a good man because you tell people exactly what you're gonna do. That's what a good man does, right?
Well, I give fair warnings. I give fair warnings time and time again, and people don't listen, and then they pay the price.
All
That's the
right,
bottom
yeah,
line. You know,
yeah, yeah. Hey,
have
I'm
no
with
more to
that.
say. You know,
Cherry pick. Don't try it again. Now you have played, and some people have said Eli is lying about that scumbag J. Ron. And Eli said he's gone away 3 times and he always comes back. You said watch, he's gonna do it again. Shortly after you said that, he came back yesterday and he said back by popular demand. So, Eli, based upon that right there, you're not a liar. So why do people think that you don't speak the truth? What's up with that?
well, Robert, I'll speak in general because, like I've been saying all along, I no longer talk about that other group, and I'll never talk about them again. But I can speak in general and say that people do a lot of different things out here on YouTube for many different reasons, primarily because they're bored, lonely, and miserable people that have no real content to put out, or even if they do, they feel it's not going to get them the same traction that drama and hate content will get them. So, I mean, the bottom line, Robert, is these types of people, they should go off into their own sector, do their own thing, because there's no upside for you or for me or for anyone. There's nothing to leverage. And look, leveraging other YouTubers in the proper ways is not a bad thing. That's how we all grow exponentially together. But with these types of groups, there's no upside, and even if we allow, these types of people to chat in our chats, they're not going to support us financially and they're not going to contribute to our actual conversation. So that's why I don't talk about these groups anymore. And that's why, they're banned on my end. I mean, that's just the bottom line right there. There's zero upside through these groups. They're just trying to rattle the cage so that way they can, have a little fun on their end and make it through their days. And some of them have found ways to make a little money while they're doing it. But for most of them, it's just something to help them get through their days. It's like a therapy session for them.
Right,
That's all,
right. Right.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's pretty much what I thought. They're laying on the table, man,
Yeah.
and they're just trying to go ahead and laying on the couch, you know what I mean, and having someone just go
That's
ahead
true.
and get them through it, and they find weird ways to get that done. And I think the ways on how they do it quite strange, quite strange on how they go about these things. It's like they try to pick out things that I think they're reflecting things in their personal life that they are pinpointing to try to bring it out to someone else to
Hmm.
try to make them feel bad about what they really don't like or whatever else it is, and then they're trying to use you
Hmm.
as a scapegoat, and I just don't think that's right. You've told me the
Robert,
truth about
Rob, Robert,
everything I've
Robert, Robert,
asked you
Robert.
about.
They're projecting their insecurities, and they're looking for a reaction. And sometimes, when you become stronger on YouTube and you learn, this game that some people play out here to get your attention, you learn to ignore it, and they still want to get your attention. So then they start to amp things up, and they do stupid things that make no sense. So that way we can react to them and say, oh, that doesn't make any sense. But reacting to them or saying anything at all is exactly what they want. Even talking about them, right now in a roundabout way is exactly what they want. And that's why, like, I haven't paid attention to any of the drama stuff. I've just focused on my content lately. I've been focusing on my family, my girlfriend, Dawn. She's doing well. She said hi to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Um, I've just been focusing on my own thing. And I've been on a drama detox because I'll tell you, man, it drains you and there's no upside. That's the bottom line. It drains you physically. It actually drains you emotionally, which further drains you physically, right? And mentally, right? And so I got too many other things to do, off of YouTube and on YouTube with good people like you than to invest any time in, with things like this, with groups like this. That's all.
All right, well, see, that was, you just brought me in. I'm gonna switch the questions around now because I was gonna ask you this
Okay.
right, right after, but since you brought it up now, I have on here time off from YouTube, and I know that you did the live the other day, and you were asking people, "What's up, AZ Prod?" You were asking the people, give your feedback on if you and Don should take the rest of the year off and come back on the first of the year brand new, and you were asking, a lot of people did not want to
Mm-hmm.
say anything, when I was one that said, hey, maybe do 3 times a week, but only do it 1 time a day instead of 2 or 3 times. TFT said, just do it once a day, don't overwork yourself and do too many episodes. You then said that, well, multiple episodes is not a problem, which means that you're still going to be out there doing some work, but how much time do you realistically think that you will be able to take off from YouTube from now and the rest of the year so that you can like clear your head?
Well, I've already practically cleared my head. And I'm starting, the detox process. I'll tell you, the last few nights, I was talking with Don, and I was just walking around because I couldn't stay seated. When you've been dealing with so much drama and you address it, and something is always constantly happening day in, day out between YouTube, your personal life, etc. Once you start to come off of that and you've shut it out and you don't pay attention to it, you have far more free time. And so my body's used to always, going back and forth with people and challenging them and they challenging me and all that. But last night I was telling, Don was wondering what was going on. I said, babe, I think I'm having like a drama detox. I think like I'm coming off this, crazy, weird high of always feeling the need to look and see what people are saying and doing and then responding to it, to completely going cold turkey, ignoring it and just moving on and focusing on the important stuff. Right. So, I've been just detoxing off of this stuff. And, I'll tell you, I woke up this morning, Robert, and, I hadn't, done my beard and shaved my head and stuff in a couple of weeks. And I got up early, made a pot of coffee. I, shaved my head. I did my beard and all that. I wanted to look all pretty for your show, Robert Reese. I
Hey,
hope you
Eli, don't
appreciate
get
that.
too pretty now. Don't get too pretty now, Eli. Don't get too pretty.
Okay. Well, I even wore my best wool hat for you, Robert, as well. So, but
I'll
anyway,
take that. I'll take that
okay.
right there.
Amen, brother. Amen. Uh, but, um, but yeah, again, it's, it's a weird feeling, when you've been so heavily involved in scrutiny and going back and forth and dealing with everything I've dealt with, along with what you've dealt with through the gig community and other communities as well. And then just, saying, hey, it's not worth my time anymore. And I'm just moving on and focusing on my own thing and just going to ignore all the dumb stuff. So it's like your body's expecting you to deal with that because it's used to it. But then when you come off of it and you have less to do, your body's like shaking, waiting for the next thing, and it's not coming because you shut it out. So I've just been kind of like detoxing, and I feel so much better, Robert. I feel just so much better. I'm not saying I didn't feel good before, but I feel clear. I feel happy. I have more energy to do other things with Don and my family and with people like you. And so as far as taking a break, I'm still getting feedback. That's why I haven't responded to that yet on my end. I'll probably do something on that in the next few days. But the majority of people so far have been saying just keep doing what you're doing and just ignore the stupid shit, and that's it. But I'm still waiting for more feedback though.
Right. Now we got some feedback right here. Ultra Ego Wisdom says, Eli, you have detox from drama, yet you're on YouTube. I would like to answer that or come back to that myself. Obviously, we know that YouTube can be filled with education. It can be filled with value. It can be filled with so many things, and drama is just a part of it. Just like if you're going to walk
Yeah.
around the street every day, you're not dealing with the people online, you're dealing with them in person. So the same drama you're going to deal with in person. So does that mean that we should not walk around as human beings because there's people out there? We're going to be on YouTube no matter what because we made that decision. That's not something to pin at or poke at because you're sitting here on YouTube talking about, you're on YouTube, but you're trying to bring drama, but you say you're on YouTube. So what part of being on YouTube, what part do you play in that with wisdom? I would like to know what part you play in that. So if you play that part, do you think it should only be for people in the chat set section and there should be no video allowed on YouTube and it should just be all chat logs? Well, if that was the case, they would take us all the way back to 1995 to AOL and Yahoo Chat. They have evolved from all of that, and then they put this on video now. And you can still chat at the same time. So I'm kind of lost on that statement right there, because to me, that doesn't make any sense because you are participating while watching YouTube and participating in the drama that you say is there. So I'm kind of lost on that one. Eli, you can add something into that if you want to. But that's just what I got to say. I just don't feel like, you're going to talk about drama, but you're adding it in. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Robert, here's the thing. I will always respond to things that make sense and are a productive use of not just my time, but your time and the normal audience's time. Again, how do I describe this? You're going to get people on YouTube that are going to be just like the little kid when you're in nursery school that always picks on you and steals your toy from the sandbox just to upset you, right? It's like an antagonistic thing to just get a reaction and just to see if you can, upset someone, right? There's no substance to dealing with any of these types of people because that's what their purpose is, just to antagonize you and get a reaction that has nothing to do with the topic at hand or what I'm trying to create or you're trying to create or anyone else may be trying to create. You understand what I'm saying? So,
right.
Again, like there's just responding to these types of people in any way, shape or form, or mentioning them in a roundabout way is basically, making them feel like their antagonistic ways are getting to you and they're not. But again, that's what they want. They're just seeking attention because that's what their purpose is. that's what they feel they need to do to get through their days. That's all it boils down to. There's no upside for you, myself, or any other creator to address people like this in a live stream chat or even do an interview with people like this. It's just not worth it, in my opinion.
Right. Now I'm going to skip on to this one right here. It's going to go into the freedom of speech. And I know you were talking about the alt-rights and the people that storm, and they're using their freedom of speech for the craziest things. You said that they should be executed. Now, although I think that that's extreme, I would like to ask you this. There was a gentleman, I was on Neck Row Getting Bags, and it was a controversial discussion. There's a full-grown man in his 50s, and he says he likes barely legal girls. Then he went down to saying if they're 18, they're okay. Then he said that in Louisiana, 17 is okay. I then went in to ask him, what if the girl is like 14 or 15 and she's developed already and she's young and you don't know? He says, well, if they look right, it's okay for me. And he's saying that he wants to have them do all these sexual favors to him. My question is, and I've been going off on this scumbag, digital nomad, for the past couple of days. He says, he's also said some other, let me tell you the other discouraging things that he said. He would rather go to trailer parks where the young girls are more desperate. He goes to pay for the ones on Craigslist. He says he wants to do an OnlyFans so he can have barely legal girls do all type of nasty things because that's what he likes. And it got down to the point that he's probably been messing around with younger girls for his whole life and doing everything. But he said everything in the context of freedom of speech because he went by laws. But the questions I was asking him was having his mind go a little bit further in and deeper. A lot of people did not know why I was asking these questions. I was asking a question, then challenging him on his mental stability of people around his own age to enrage him to then give me his real answer when I asked the next one. And that's the process I used on this gentleman here. And he exposed himself as being a pervert. Now, because how he was speaking in code like someone that's been in trouble before. So he was going by legal terms and things. Well, I'll have them sign a waiver and things like that to protect himself. Now, he says the legal age, even if I said, what if they're in high school and they turn 18, but they still live at home and they're in high school? He says, well, they're 18. That's all the way good, even though you know that those are little kids. He says it's all good. So I want to know, get from your opinion, from the freedom of speech that he was using to describe these things, to legal age versus his standard rule. I want to know how you feel about him being able to put that out loud and have a bunch of people hear what he said, and he thinks it's a-okay because he was trying to use legal terms with the freedom of speech. And you said that executing people that use hateful and all this other stuff, they should be executed. I would like to know your stance on this situation right here.
I saw your show yesterday, Robert, and so I tried to respond, but I think that message, when I actually responded to the replay of your live stream yesterday, I think that comment was held for review. I didn't see it out there. And what I was saying is the people that listen to Donald Trump giving that speech to incite the insurrection at the Capitol building shortly before it happened, and the people that actually went to the Capitol building and broke the windows and were fighting and were creating chaos, I feel those people should be executed. I didn't say anything else. I think you guys misheard what I said, or I know there's a lot going on and things can be taken a little bit out of context, even on accident. But no, I never said people like that should be, I never said someone, saying their freedom of speech should be executed. If you take actions to try to destroy the Capitol building of your country, you're trying to destroy your country. So I feel we should destroy you before you destroy our entire country, because you're mentally and emotionally unstable and your brain's messed up. I mean, so that's that. As far as what you were saying about this guy, that sounds like a predator to me, right? This is where, you're looking at the fine line of what's legal and what's morally and ethically right. Let's face it here. Okay. I would never behave in the way this guy's behaving. I've never gone after younger women. I've always typically dated women that are no younger than 7 years younger than me. And before I got to an age where, women were of legal age, I was dating women of legal age. So I think what's happening here is in the porn industry, there is a market where they call it barely legal, where they actually do go out there and find women that are 18 years old, which is the legal age, right? We all know an 18-year-old is inexperienced, is highly vulnerable. And, there really is no difference, in my opinion, between a 16 and 17-year-old girl and an 18-year-old woman. A girl that turns 18 the day after they turn 18, right? They were 17 the day before, and then now they're 18. There's no difference there. It's just now you're officially a legal adult, and technically there's no statutory rape there. That doesn't mean from a moral and ethical standpoint it is correct and proper to talk about sick shit like this. And that's I say sick shit because that's what it is, right? I think this guy is a very disturbed man. There are a lot of men out there that prey on the vulnerabilities of women, and they prey on younger women because they're more vulnerable. They're less experienced than older women that haven't experienced stuff yet to be able to handle themselves properly. So, and they also, a lot of these guys, they probably get off on the innocence of young women, the inexperience, and the ability to be able to more so manipulate them and control them. That's what it sounds like this guy is doing. For him, okay, it's one thing for a guy to have, sexual thoughts and keep it to himself, right? It's another thing to publicly come out on a platform like YouTube and talk about this stuff like it's no big deal, right? And that's where I have the problem there, and he's probably doing this to get attention. Obviously, the people on YouTube, because it's so saturated, they feel they have to just do the dumbest, craziest, most cringiest things that no one would ever expect them to do to get all eyes on them. And that's all I think he's trying to do. Do I think he's wrong? Absolutely. Absolutely. He's wrong. And if I had to put a label on it, yes, he's a predator. Even if he's going after barely legal 18-year-old girls, they're still just as vulnerable as they were when they're 16 or 17. So this guy should be ashamed of himself.
Well, yeah,
Period.
he should be ashamed there also, but he also I asked him specific questions, Eli. I asked this gentleman, Digital Nomad is his name. Digital Nomad is his name.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him if a girl was like 14 and he doesn't know, but she looks like she could be 18. He said that's fine with me also. If he doesn't know, it's all good, which means that he has a problem. It means he has a problem. Now, what you just spoke about, you just said people are trying to do the most outrageous things to be seen. So I have here edgy topics, good or bad. He's out there saying this, but now he's labeled. And you're on the internet. There's cyber people that watch. We don't know if we're going to see him on Chris Hansen. We're going to see him doing weird things. Now, he also said that he has a hat that he has a camera in, and he wants to try to find young, barely legal hot chicks on his camera, but he's also a DoorDash delivery driver, which means he has access to be walking up to people's homes. What do you feel about that he says these things and he has access to walk up to homes where there might be young girls?
I think he needs to be clipped and reported to support@DoorDash.com or legal@DoorDash.com or whatever the email is. I think DoorDash needs to know that he's out on the biggest public platform for video and podcasting in the world, YouTube. And he's saying that he's out there praying for young women while door dashing. First of all, it's sick for him to even think that way. And like you were saying on your show yesterday, Robert, how's this guy going to know, how old these girls or women are? I mean, there are women that are 16 that look like they're 25. You just don't know. You can't just walk up to somebody's house and try to recruit barely legal women for, your thing. I honestly think this guy is a miserable and sick man that, is just trying to get attention. At the end of the day, this is where the problem lies, Robert. You can sit there and talk about this all you want, but until you take the action and do something that will get you arrested, there's nothing anyone can do. So like if you were to go to the police with something like this right now, all they're going to say is that this guy's just running his mouth on YouTube. Now, like you said, you could do a Chris Hansen type of sting and see if he'd fall for it. And if he does, then he's breaking the law, then you can arrest him. But in the meantime, I think guys like this are just trying to get attention. That's all it boils down to. Does it make it right? No. Do I still think it's sick? Yes. Do I still think this guy's behaving in the ways of a predator? Absolutely. But I think one of the best things to do with someone like this is to just ignore him and not give him any airtime, and maybe talk about it one time. And
I already deleted him. He's banned from my channel. He is permanently banned for life. Lifetime ban. It cannot be upheld. Lifetime ban from Hot Facts. Coach Troy Brewer says Robert Reese, 31 states in America have the age of consent. He actually went on the internet right now, obviously, at 16. So men can legally have sex with the 16-year-olds in those states. So are you saying that if you are in one of those states, you'll be going around looking for a sophomore or junior in high school as a grown-ass man? I want you to answer that question right there. You just brought that up. My question to you is to answer that. So since in 31 states, if you live in one of those 31 states, have you actually gone after a 10th grade or 11th grade girl as a grown-ass man? When you answer that, we'll know exactly what you're talking about. Now,
Robert, may I say something real quick?
Attention. Well, Hazy Train says attention. Yes, it's for attention. Go ahead, Eli.
Yeah. Again, even if the age of consent is lower in other states, I think a good man that is secure within himself, is happy, is not going to, try to prey on the vulnerabilities of younger women that are inexperienced. At the age of 16 and 17, even if the age of consent is that, age in some states. In California here, it's 18. And it should be 18 everywhere. And it should probably even be maybe even 21, to be honest with you, because at 18 years old, here in California, you need to be 21 now to buy cigarettes and to buy alcohol. Cigarettes used to be 18. Why do you think they changed the age of being able to buy cigarettes legally from 18 to 21? Because a lot of kids in high school, you turn 18, they're buying smokes for the younger kids, right? So they're trying to take care of that. What I'm saying, Robert, is I really don't think in this day and age that someone starts to truly become an adult from a mental capacity and emotional capacity until they're 21. And so, Mama Goonie says 21 is the magic number. Yeah. So, even if it's legal for, a man of age to be with a 16 or 17-year-old girl in some states, why would you want to do that? What kind of a man are you that preys on the vulnerabilities of young and innocent women that are inexperienced, right? Put yourself in the shoes of having a daughter. Would you want another older man taking advantage of your 16 or 17-year-old daughter? A lot of these guys, Robert, this is the truth of the matter. They're sick in the head. They're dysfunctional. They're mentally and emotionally unstable. And they have to do things like this to try to feel like they have some kind of worth, right? That's all it boils down to, or have some kind of purpose. That's the bottom line. That's all it boils down to. So it's wrong. It is wrong, even if it's legal, in my opinion. It's morally and ethically wrong to prey on the vulnerabilities of inexperienced women, especially, underage or even at 18. They're still not mature enough. Come on. Jesus Christ. These guys are sick in the head, man.
Right. Super sick in the head. And we had a guy on, John George Hulk Smash. He gave a story about his daughter was 16 and they caught her messing around with a 30-something-year-old man, and they went ahead and got the police involved. They did a sting operation and all that other stuff. And then it almost happened again. They caught a hold to it, and the guy that they actually found, he actually murdered somebody that was young. So these things are happening out there with those freaks out there. So Eli, this is a pretty great interview and back and forth with me and you, because this is what we do right here. People, this is Hot Facts and Eli here. If you don't like Eli at all, if you don't like Hot Facts, what we are talking about right now and speaking about, you cannot hate anything about what we are saying. This is real life and real talk right here. You got to throw that hater
Robert,
out the window.
Real quick, Robert, can I respond to something your wife said? I want to pay her a compliment if that's okay. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Amelia says he doesn't like or respect women, Eli. It goes beyond that, Amelia. He doesn't like or respect himself. If you don't have self-respect and self-love, there's no way you're going to behave normally. But go ahead, Robert. Sorry about that.
Yeah, see, people, this is Eli. This is what I wanted to have happen here on our 8th episode, on what it is now. People, I want you guys to know that I've done enough interview process on Eli. I will always ask him questions, but how Eli just went straight to the chat. Eli's going to hop on in, answer questions, give feedback and things like that. This is what we're going to be doing. So you guys are actually going to be getting Hot Facts and Eli. You guys are going to get perspectives from him and myself. And this is what it is. Now, Eli, that's all I got to ask you right there. But at the moment now, we're gonna flip. We're gonna flip. Now, Eli, you are in the other role that I've been in for the first 7.5 episodes. So now you get a chance to ask me things and go like that. So now I'm gonna be in your role and you're gonna be in my role.
Wow. So now I'm hosting Hot Facts with Robert Reese, huh? I'm hosting Hot Facts with Robert Reese.
Yeah, the show is yours now.
If I'm going to be hosting Hot Facts with Robert Reese, Robert, can you at least play your Hot Facts with Robert Reese song to intro it in? You said you're going to put the song in.
All right, hit mute.
All right.
Hot Facts with Robert Reese. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Hot facts.
Robert, can you hear me okay?
I got you, Eli. I had you there,
Robert,
for a little
I gotta say
bit.
something. I gotta say something. I think I told you this last time. I gotta say it again. I've been going around, my place here, and like the last couple of days, I've just been walking around, even in front of Don, and going, Hot Facts with Robert Reese. Let me get them Hot Facts with Robert Reese. And last night, Don kind of started to get a little bit antsy regarding that. She's like, are you going to keep going around the house and saying Hot Facts with Robert Reese every day, all day? And I said, well, baby, I mean, she goes, why do you do that? Does Robert go around saying Coach Eli, Coach Eli, Coach Eli? And when I get down on the next show, we'll talk about it.
Eli. I
He
walk
does.
around out of nowhere, Eli, out of nowhere. I'm gonna say, be kind to each other. Out of nowhere, I just
Yeah.
do it because
Yeah.
that's how I release it. That's how I release it. So tell her, yes, I do that. So yes, it's all good.
Yeah. No, I told her, I said, I understand, baby, but his song is really catchy. He's got like the R&B rhythm and blues, melody and stuff. And he's got like this smooth R&B singer. Let me get them hot facts with Robert Reese, gig
With
economy
Robert
news
Reese,
channel.
yeah, gig
Right.
economy.
It's catchy.
News
It's catchy.
channel, hot
That's
facts,
right.
hot facts, hot facts with Robert Reese, gig economy,
Yeah,
news channel. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Well, thank
So
you for the
Eli, now
great
it's on you. It's
intro.
your show. It's your show now.
Well, great, Robert. Yeah, no, I've done many interviews in my time, podcast style and on YouTube. And first question that I'd like to ask you is, how has this experience dealing with myself, dealing with a lot of the drama that came through the gig economy, has that if it's too personal, you don't have to answer, but has that affected like your home life? Do you and your wife talk about it? Does it affect you guys, or do you strategize off of it? Like, how do you folks, how do you and your wife deal with all this crap?
So you're talking about from going from you coming in with everything that's going in now as a total?
Yeah, like, well, there was drama before I came in. Obviously, there's always been drama, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do you and your wife deal with the drama stuff on YouTube? You've had your trolls, you've had people come at you, you've been dealing with this for a while. How do the both of you handle this? Do you talk about it regularly? Do you strategize, or does it affect you, in your marriage in any way, shape, or form?
Well, I'll go ahead and say this. You know, at first, when I first started my channel up, my wife had no care for what my channel was. She just thought, whatever. She had no care. I'm going live and talking about the gig. Well, I told her what I was going to do, so she had no care. As it's going on, and like she's seeing my subs go up and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, I still don't." She didn't switch yet, but once it got to a point to where Pedro and all of the upper echelon people were coming to try to talk to me and do things like that. She was like, "Oh, I saw them on this video. I saw them on that one." So then she was like, "All right, it's something there." When it got to the point to where the trolls start coming out, she still didn't understand what was going on. So she understands what it is now, but she didn't understand what it is then. It had no effect on me because I already knew that I wanted trolls. I wanted people to be talking about me no matter what, because I hit them in so much of a way that it irritated them, it bugged them, or they felt that, man, he dropped some jewels on me. So my whole thing was to hit everyone with that and take it for what it is. And I've been doing that ever since. So when they came. Now I'll tell you when it got difficult though. Like when Cherry Pick start doing this stuff and they start saying we're gonna do this, and then when people start slowly but surely start making jokes of my family or trying to like say things, I bet his wife is like this, or all like throwing up their own assumptions out there, then she starts to hear them. She was having more of an issue with that stuff and not understanding that these are people that live 3,000 miles away. They don't know who you are. They're just making up stuff. She just takes things so serious. So then when she takes it serious, obviously, like it comes into me. But when I start my show, I just woosah it off because I already understand what it is. You know what I mean? I can't take them doing that to try to get to her, to have that get to me, because I understand what it is. I have to teach her that it's only going to get worse. People are going to hate and hate and hate even more. But the more they hate is a better job on what you are actually doing out there. Now she's kind of growing the thick skin. She's a chat warrior. She reads the chats. She gets emotionally involved with the chats. Like someone said this, and I wanted to say this, but she didn't say it. Like, good, don't say it, because that's what they want. The chat is the spectator realm. That's the audience. they're going to be having their own discussions going ham and hard out there because they're not on camera itself. You know what I mean? So now she's getting through that. Sometimes she would have an attitude, when I get off a live, if someone asks me a question and I answer it and it's a troll, so I'm addressing a troll. So, she just has to learn all that stuff like that. She's learning it and getting it because now trolls are starting to say sly remarks if she's in the chat and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's toughening her skin. I welcome it all the way. And I have to have her, welcome it also so that we just let it all come. I'm going to be the one reacting, not her. So she ain't got to worry about that. So just let it come. The real bad ones you don't like, make sure you take those down on notes. That's why she's my assistant. It gives her an extra job with the chat section now. So go look at channels, see what they're doing, so she can see, well, they just did it here. I don't think this person's anything. She comes back and lets me know now. So she's learning to have it all come in and then report to me on it. And if it's anything worth anything, I'll go ahead and bring it out publicly. You see what I mean? At first, it was terrible. I'm not going to lie. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was the same thing, with Dawn. I, forewarned her what was going to happen if she started doing content with me, and people would try to find out who she is. And, we were going to, are you okay?
Go ahead. I forgot to hit mute. Mr. Flex is here. I'm going to read what he wrote in my head.
Okay, no worries. We were going to publicly put Dawn out there anyway, because that's just the way that we roll. If we're going to try to help people better their lives personally and professionally, I feel it's important for people to know our first and last name and see our face, and know that we are a real entity. We're a real business and we're real people. I learned a lot from my previous relationship with an ex of mine many years ago, before Dawn, that used to come on YouTube with me, and that's where a lot of the trolling for me started. I made a lot of mistakes because I was unaware of what even trolls were. I didn't expect all that. So, when I started dating Dawn, I was 4 years into it already. So she gained a lot of experience. I prepped her for 6 months before even bringing her on the air, audio only and anonymously, as my girlfriend. And then 6 months after that, we moved in together. And at that point, we put her public. We were going to do it anyway, but we knew once that, Dawn moved in with me, people were going to do a background check on me, look for known associates, and they're going to find her. And that's what people did. It's not a big deal. We don't care. This is going to happen to anyone and everyone. And you just have to learn how to push it up to the side and not let it get to you, and focus on the people that care about you and care about your content. It's a small group of people that are going to do this. They seem bigger than they are because these small groups a lot of times will gang up together with a group of 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 people. But again, all you have to do is turn it off. Do what I'm doing now. Do a detox. Just stop going out there looking to see what these people are doing or saying, and just understand they're going to keep saying it till the day you die. And you just have to ignore it and focus on, what you're meant to do. That's all, Robert. But yeah, I get what you're saying, man. Dawn initially, she wanted to come on. She was a little bit leery too, and it bothered her initially, but then she actually became stronger and started to realize why these people do these things. And now she's a trooper. Now she's like Amelia. So I think that's why Amelia likes Dawn, because they've been through a similar thing, huh, Robert?
Yeah. Very similar situation. And, I have so many haters and people out there that, like when people make certain threats, when they make certain threats, she was like thinking that they were serious, like someone is going to be following us or sending things out. You know, she was thinking like the Lifetime woman in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to, you know, like, look, this ain't going down. None of these people are for real like that. Ain't none of them for real like that. If they want the smoke and they really want the smoke, they can come. They can come and get the smoke. She's seen me do work to many people physically in person. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gotta be thinking nothing like that. These are just internet warriors who just do what they do. You know what I mean? And we
Keyboard
just move
warriors.
past that. Yeah, keyboard
Keyboard
warriors.
warriors.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. You ready for the next one, Robert? We'll do a couple
Yep.
more.
Hey, it's your show, man.
You down for that?
Your show.
Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. We got to bring you on my channel at some point soon too. But you know, if you could do things all over again, Robert, in regards to this channel here, would you do anything or anything differently based on what you've experienced and learned so far? Would you start off doing things differently, or would you keep it the same? Would you have kept it the same?
I would probably say 99% keep it the same, because when I started this channel, I wrote everything down and I went step by step on my plan on what I was going to do. So I had to hit my goals and on my marks. So I did that. But there were some marks where I hit them and I said, well, this backlash came. Should I have done it this way? And little things like that, I guess you second guess. But if you do something in a different way that's not going according to what the plan you have down, that can switch up the future on what you have set there for what you got to hit also. So I would say 99% I would do it the same. The other 1% is maybe if I was convinced enough, going back, maybe if I was convinced enough, but I have a good, strong, solid team behind me. The DoorDash Revolution and TFT always talking to me, letting me know things and go over different perspectives. My wife started getting involved. My brother, who does my music with me, my producer, who was my first cousin-in-law, he makes the
Mm-hmm.
beats. You know, so they all have discussions with me. If I do a live and they say, well, you know what you did there, right? You know, this might be coming next. So, you know, we talk about things. So yeah, 99%, I would just do it the same. And if I was convinced enough, like I said, I may have changed, but probably not. Change something else.
Mm. Oh, that's great. You know, if I'm going to ask questions, I'll answer them myself. You know, if I could do it all over again, would have I done some things differently? Yeah. I mean, I would have realized early on, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, that what you say on the live stream can and will be used against you forever, especially if you're in a professional field like I am. You know, going back to, you know, the hateful things I said in the heat of the moment because somebody triggered me on a live stream. Those things have been used against me for years. Yes, it's by the same group of people, but they've been able to make enough noise to stir up the pot and interfere, you know, what I've been trying to do with guys like you and other creators, right? I would have kept my cool. I wouldn't have reacted the way I did. I do have a lot of emotional self-control. Sometimes I will overreact. I'm not a violent person. I wouldn't hurt a fly. But out here on YouTube, you know, back then I didn't realize how much your reactions, your behavior, and getting triggered affects your future, especially if you're running a professional business. You know, haters will use that against you to try to take you out and get other people to believe that what they're saying is right based on the one small mistake you made. So, you know, if I could do it all over again, you know, I would have just not overreacted like I did several times during the first couple of years of being, you know, a semi full-time creator out here on YouTube. So, yeah. But most of the other things, you know, I mean, that's just myself, you know, speaking my truth, sharing my stories. and my experiences that I wouldn't change. That's just me. That's who I am. So yeah. Hot facts and Eli on the screen. That's great. I like that, Robert. I like that. Nice banner there, man. Looks good.
Hey, man, we up here, Eli. Hey, we speak the truth. We ain't
Yeah.
afraid of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't afraid of
Yeah.
nothing, Eli. Look, you and I are not afraid of anything. And this is what the people got to understand. We stand up,
Mm-hmm.
we say it, we don't back down, and it is what it is. You guys got to understand that. From now on out,
Mm-hmm.
guys, when we do these series here, it's gonna be more free flow. So the questions will be going out there in the chats, and we'll be answering things and talking about it. We'll be talking about some serious things about life, man. Some real serious things, because we forget that on YouTube, people, you forget that there are other things going on out there, and we got to make sure that we speak about these things so we can keep ourselves
Mm-hmm.
in a nice, humble state of mind. We got to be in a nice, humble
Yeah.
state of mind, right? Right, Eli? Nice, humble state of
Right.
mind. What do you feel about that?
Yeah. Yeah. You're talking about humility, Robert. Staying, humble and kind. And that's the kind of person I've always been my entire life. The thing is, whenever you lose your shit emotionally, especially as a man. Now, even as a woman, it doesn't look good, but at least it's more understood when women lose their emotional self-control, because, women are run by their emotions at a biological and natural level. For men, we're supposed to have that strength and have emotional self-control. That also helps balance out our partner, our female partner. And, it just allows us to stay clear and focused, right? And so, you know, um, yeah, I've been a very humble and kind person, but when I've overreacted, people will challenge and say, how can you be a humble and kind person when you overreact and you trash talk people and this and that? Well, I can understand why they feel that way. I don't trash talk anyone unless I feel they're being out of line and they're being outrageous. But even then, you know, the people that try to crawl under your skin to make you look bad, even if you're right about what you're saying about them, I've learned you got to do it in a more professional way. Instead of attacking them and calling them all these names, just say, hey, these people are struggling emotionally and mentally, and they need to get some help. And I'm not going to feed into it. I'm not going to let them trigger me. It is what it is. So, yeah, being humble and kind, Robert, we need a lot more of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I've had my fair share of explosions online on YouTube. They've been clipped and everything. I don't care, because that's what you got. That's what it was. That was real, natural emotion right there, and it is what it is. I didn't fake nothing. It is what it is. Let me answer this right here. He says, Robert, do your other friends hassle you for being connected to Eli, even though they all gave him the boot on here? See, here's the best thing about having people that are friends and having people that understand that you are your own grown man. I am my own grown man. The decisions that I make, I am making based upon that's what I want to do. I have my reasons for what I want to do. If my reasons don't go into what you got going on, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I'm going on, because you feel that if you were in the same situation, it would be a bad move for you and it would go terrible. I see that in the same situation, it's going to be beneficial for me, and I can actually see growth and development. So when I see growth and development, and they see, now that they've seen, this is episode number 8, they got a chance to actually hear Eli's answers to the hundreds of questions that I have already asked. So they've got a chance to listen to him on what he says. So from his answers, he's answering things that they would like to have answered, and it's bringing down whatever the force field was. Now Eli is just here. Now they all tune in to see what Eli and I are going to be saying next. And I think that's what true
mhm,
friends are, and that's what true friends do. If you have someone that continuously hates on what you're doing, but when you watch the numbers of Hot Facts and Eli, the numbers are not bad at all, which means that people are continuously watching, just like now, and you guys are engaging in the chat section to ask questions here, which means that
mhm,
overall it's a win-win. It's something that everyone can learn from, and you should be learning how to put other stuff aside and just enjoy this show. You don't have to like either one of us, but we are going to come real with these
right.
topics that we will be discussing. And when a true friend
Mhm.
understands that, you can do what you want to do. You ain't got to put them to the side.
Yeah, Robert, real quick before we move on, we have time for a couple more questions. Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead,
We
Eli.
have time for a couple more.
Yeah, it's all you. It's your show.
Here, like you said, Robert, each individual person is in control of their own destiny. In this case, you and I are both men, so let's talk about men. Every man, decides what he wants to do for himself. Same with women, but we're just talking about men here, right? So whatever Robert decides to do is independent of all of his friends. It is independent of anyone that follows his content, his family, or whatever, right? He is an individual and he stands on his own. Now, does that mean he's on his own? No, he's got family, he's got a wife, he's got kids, all that. But we all come into this world alone. And especially when it comes to a man, we have to look at ourselves as an individual, because that's what builds our value and creates our value as a man and creates who we are. So any decision I make is based on what's best for myself and my family and, people that I truly care for. I don't want to affect them, right? And for other people that are not in alignment with what I'm doing, the best thing to do is to just ignore it. And I know we're on YouTube here, we're on a public platform, right? It's hard to ignore people sometimes, but honestly, you got to start ignoring people and just letting them do what they're going to do. In some cases, you're going to have people that can't get to you, so then they take things into real life. Like, I've had people take things into real life many times, including recently. I'm not going to get into that. And I understand that. I know how to handle it. I accept as part of the way things are. And those are things that I choose to not discuss online. I used to talk about those things, and I don't even talk about those things anymore. You know why? Because all these people want to do is get a reaction from you. And if they can't get it from you just by antagonizing you online, then they go into real life and do stupid things in real life to try to get that reaction from you. And quite frankly, it doesn't work, right? So again,
Right.
I respect the fact, Robert, that you stand tall as an individual, self-made man. And because of the way you've been self-made, you've created a great life for yourself. You have a great wife, you have kids, you have family, you're on YouTube, you got a great channel, and that's what defines you. So it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. What matters is how you feel about yourself. And same with me. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It matters how I feel about yourself. If you don't have self-love and self-respect, then nothing else matters. No one else is ever going to respect you if you don't have self-love and self-respect for yourself. That's my thought on that. Anything else you want to throw into that, Robert, before we go through a couple more questions here? Or?
No, I ain't got nothing else to say. You nailed that one. Yeah, you nailed that one.
I don't know if I nailed it, Robert. I just shared how I felt, Robert. All I do is I share how I feel.
I agree. I agree with 100% of that. There's nothing about that I would change.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Robert. Let me ask you this, Robert. Futuristically, where do you want to see things go for yourself personally and professionally, between your YouTube channels, between your social media presence, between the gig economy? What more do you want to do that's going to define who you are as a man? Because I've already seen a lot of stuff you've done in the past. You've donated your time. You've helped many people with fitness. You've been involved in your communities. I know a lot of people have trash talked you like me, but I look beyond that. I know the kind of person you are, because I'm a lot like you, Robert. I'm a family man. I'm a community man. I love people, and I don't wish harm upon anyone. But what do you see in the future? Where do you see this channel going? Do you want to keep it the same? Do you plan on even doing things beyond the gig economy and maybe doing something more like what Pedro and Hannibal are doing, something more pop culture where it broadens up your horizon outside of the gig economy to be able to interview more people? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, my future definitely is to have this channel. I'm in phase 2 of my process now. Phase 3 will be starting in maybe about 8 to 9 months. Phase 3 actually starts. The goal is to have this channel go further than what it is. The goal is to push more topics that people are afraid to bring up when it comes to business, when it comes to social aspects, when it comes to religion, life, and everything. I made this channel to start off with the gig work, but then have it as a variety channel. With when you watch my interviews, there's interviews with many, many different people from different channels and different walks of life. I'm gonna be still continuing that and bringing in, a whole lot of separate issues. Like one of the first things I said I want to do is get into the podcast realm and get into a podcast with someone that's not from the same realm on where you're from. I never knew where that was going to come from. I went out looking for people and trying to search out this and that, and it never worked. Just so happened that I met you, and we got this Hot Facts and Eli thing going off. So that's a check right there. Now it's using this to bring in a different audience, so we can actually bring up different angles, different ideas, different news clips and things like that, and give our opinions on without having to have 2, 3, and 4 channels. My goal is to be able to have everything on one channel, have different playlists, so you can just click on which you want to watch and then go from there. I want to have I'm on the road for 20,000 K subs. So I'm on the road for 20,000 subs, and I have to go right now. I have to go viral 5 more times in order for me to see that happen. So right now, I'm focusing on not missing any moments out there, film what I can, because you never know when that viral video is going to come. Have those come in, bring in more subs in so they can watch what's going on. Then while that's going in, throw out my marketing plan with the boardroom, Hot Facts and Eli, interviews, coming in and just like being controversial. You know how I get fiery, I throw people out, I yell at people.
Yep.
I have battles. Still bringing that entertainment value into the whole thing as well, and just having it grow, but putting all that stuff piece by piece. I'm still on phase 2. Where I am now, I thought I would be here maybe like 6 months from now, but I hit my goals early. Um, Within the first 7.5 months, I was fully monetized here on YouTube. Then went through another phase once I was there to fight people and haters and trying to keep my channel down. Had to fight through all that while losing subs. I lost 300 like in 3 days from people that said we're gonna unsubscribe. They did that. I had to rebound back from that and still not lose focus on what the overall agenda is. So right now is just to keep pushing, and in about 8 to 9 months, but I'll give maybe 10 months. In 10 months, you guys should see a few more exciting things coming from Team Hot Facts. And you guys are gonna see bigger and better episodes from Hot Facts and Eli. My goal with Hot Facts and Eli is to be out there and challenge any other podcast out there when it comes to two people speaking about different things going on around the world. It can be social media, it can be real life, it can be religion, it can be law, it can be anything. I do feel that how we are able to deliver on the microphone, how we are able to understand the questions and answer them all the way directly, that we will be able to have a successful podcast. And I see that even with the people in the gig world, I don't see anyone in the gig world who can possibly do something like this. I've been in other communities and I don't see anyone that can do it like this. And I feel that together, this is what a lot of you guys don't understand. You guys may not like that Hot Facts is working with Eli and Eli is working with Hot Facts, but I have a vision. I see a future in this collaboration. I see that we have enough following of people that hate us enough that they'll follow us and pay attention. And I do understand that we have a nice following of people that support us also. And since we do have that, people will watch this. And maybe in 3-4 months from now, this podcast is going to be averaging, when we get on here, you might see an average of 100 people, 200 people in the box. You might see that our live episodes with Hot Facts and Eli finishes up at 2.5K per episode that we do. This is the next big step and plan that I have going on for Hot Facts, and it includes Eli, whether you guys like it or not.
Wow, that's fantastic, Robert. Thank you so much. Great response there. I don't have really anything to add to that. You said it very well, and I respect and appreciate that. I have one more question for you here, and then I don't know if you want to wrap it up after that with final thoughts. I just have one more question. I think it's a really good question that I've talked about before many times. What are your thoughts regarding competition versus collaboration? Let me explain a little bit more before you respond. So, are you more of the type of guy that likes to compete with people and take out your competition to get ahead? Or are you more about working together with people and collaborating and growing exponentially together in that way? What are your thoughts regarding that? And then I'll share my thoughts after that.
Well, my thoughts on that were to come in solo, show people that I got the hard work, I can outwork anyone. It got to the point to where Hannibal told Pedro that Hot Facts works harder than you do. My goal was to come in by myself, show my work ethic, to build the competition up, to let them know that I am here. And you got a lot to deal with because I am here. I don't know what you got going on, but my plan is to take your spot. I'm going to do that solo. While doing that solo, I said while moving along, going through the battles, I'm going to find people along the way that they want to go ahead and join up like cowboys, and we're going to join up and form our group, and then we're going to do this together because we share the same like-mindedness. Now, when that comes in, we're a whole team. Now it brings in a competition to your team and your crew. How valuable is not only your channel, but your whole crew? So now we bring that competition there. I love to do the collaborations with people that feel the same way, because you can move a whole lot stronger and better. But I am also into doing collaborations with people who I hate. And the reason for that is the dialogue is never going to go according to the plan. And if someone can understand that and they don't mind sitting on screen with me, let's say this. Let's say if Mr. Flex said, "Hey, I don't like you, Reese. You don't like me. Let's do a podcast. Let's do a show for an hour. I'll give you the link. Let's do a show for an hour, and let's get up here and answer everything for everybody out there." They may ask you something about me. They may ask me something about you. And, I would gladly do that in a heartbeat, because that's going to be controversial and it's going to bring value and views to everything. Coach Coachella said, "What crew?" Well, you would like to know my crew? Okay, so that means you don't watch Hot Facts, so you better watch your mouth. Don't be coming up here saying I don't pay attention to the chat. I don't pay attention to shit that's not going into the flow of what the show is. That's what Hot Facts is all about. It's not dealing with the shit you don't know about. But I will go ahead to let you know, Coach Hello, who my crew is. Starting off with my ace, the DoorDash Revolution. He has the baddest morning ride-along show in all of the gig economy, taking it to the streets. He is also the historian, and he does reviews of the gig economy. Secondly, we have my deputy, TFT. He runs the show. He answers questions. He boosts people. He's a co-host. He gets up here. He speaks his mind, and he does his thing. Thirdly, we have Spokesman Cornbread. You guys send prayers out for Cornbread out there. We have Spokesman Cornbread. He's out there. Then we have the head of diplomacy. We have John George. He supports many channels. He pays for memberships. He gets around. He gets the intel. He gets the insight, and he bridges the gap. So he is the head of diplomacy, and that is John George. That is who he is. We also have over the head of transportation with the gig world. We have Uber Jeep AZ. He is the head of transportation. He has the best rideshare channel of all time when it comes to rideshare in the gig economy. This is Team Hot Facts, and along with Team Hot Facts, you then have this in association. We have Hot Facts and Eli. Eli, I am the official interviewer of Eli. Eli, I am his official correspondent for him also. Coach Eli and Coach Reese right here. We have the Hot Facts and Eli show. Eli is part of Team Hot Facts also. Eli is also a moderator on the show. I just gave you every single person who was part of Team Hot Facts. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, Robert, very well said. I want to just throw in my thoughts regarding competition versus collaboration. I've talked about it many times on my channels, and I'll say this again here. For me, I'm not out here to compete with anyone. I'm out here to share my stories, share my experiences of the many mistakes I made in the past, what I learned from them, how I turned it around. So that way, and how I turned it around, I mean, so that way, I can reach success professionally and personally. And so, for me, it's more about a collaboration, like with people like you. I consider this a collaboration. A lot of people that I've tried to work with out here on YouTube over the last 6 years, whenever I reach out to them to maybe do a live stream or to do a few videos together, and I say, let's collaborate. They're like, well, what do you want out of this? What do you want to get out of this? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, you want to make money off this? And I said, no, I just want to get to know you. I like your content. I'd like to interview you. Maybe you can interview me too. If you'd like, on your channel, I'll interview you first in good faith. And let's just see where it goes. It's a collaboration. But so many people are so selfish and jaded and insecure and are just out here to make it all about themselves, right? And so, I honestly feel there is such a thing as good competition. If you have good friendly competition, like a baseball game, little league baseball game, or a baseball game or whatever, right? Good friendly competition, not a problem, right? And good fun. But for me, I'm not even into any competition. I'm not here to compete with anyone. I'm here to collaborate, join forces, and further bring people together, not divide people apart. There's enough division happening. We need a lot more unity, and that's what I'm all about. Unity, Robert. So there we go. So that's it. That's enough.
Eli, let me answer this really quick. John, is it Senat? John Senat says, is there anything anyone could do to facilitate a collaboration? Yes, there are things you could do to facilitate a collaboration. If you have an aspiration to collaborate with someone else, yes, but you have to deal with egos when you are dealing with this aspect, because even though you want to facilitate something and you know that it can be something good, the other person, because of how social media is, what is it going to do for me? How am I going to benefit? And they may feel like they are above you and you are beneath them. So it's all about learning how to engage with the person you want to have a collaboration with. And that has to do with email correspondence. Well, first of all, going into their live shows, commenting on their videos, letting them know that you are there. Click on some of their live streams just to click on so they can hear your voice, see your face. Showing your face is very important. Answering questions without going all the way off the deep end. Once you start doing that, send them an email correspondence, let them know what you are interested in, see what their reply is going to be. But then you got to eat, sleep, and repeat. Do you know how many times when I'm booking interviews, how many times I get told no? If I gave up after the first time I told no to get that collaboration in, I would have no interviews. I'm knocking on doors. I'm bugging them. I'm doing all that stuff. If it's something that you really want to do, you got to put the boot work and the footwork in to make that happen. Make the collaboration happen. Speak it into existence. Tag those people in videos so that they see what you're saying, so that they finally say, I'm going to watch this channel right now. And when they watch, make sure they're going to see something that catches their eye. And once you get that, you're going to humble them. Then they're either going to say yay or nay. If they say nay, they fear you because they see what you got going on, and they're going to try to steal some of your ideas and put that into their channel. It's not a bad thing. Everyone needs to learn from each other, but more people should collaborate and start to initiate the facilitation so that it can happen.
Yeah, Robert, real quick, one more thing to respond to that, and then I'll turn it over back to you. I'll hand back the reins to your own channel, back to you. So for me to consider collaborating with someone, there has to be some type of value there. It doesn't necessarily mean money. It means there has to be value in investing our time together, right? And so, for you, John, right? This guy's name is John Sinnott, whatever, right? I'm looking at your channel. It's been around since August 9th of 2014. You don't have any of your own videos out there. For me to consider collaboration with someone like you would have to put out at least 10 videos of you showing your face and using your real name. So that way I know you're a real person and you're not playing games and it's not a waste of my time. Out here on YouTube, anyone can say they're anyone if they don't show their face, right? And use their real name. So for me, the two main requirements for me to even consider any collaboration is you got to show your face. You got to have at least 10 videos on your channel that show your face and use your real name. And I have to be able to look you up on social media and see that you exist and that you're real. Once I find out if you're real, I look to see, well, what type of content are you creating and how would that benefit my audience and how would my content benefit your audience? There has to be some kind of crossover between the audiences to make it a fair collaboration. So that's my thoughts regarding that, Robert. So back to you, Robert. Remember the saying "back to you"? They used to say that on TV. Remember the Kelsey Grammer? What was that show called? Back to You, I think. It's called with Kelsey Grammer, right?
Yeah,
back to you.
And back to you. Hey, you know what's a good idea we should do on maybe our next episode? Remember that show, Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
I think we should try to recreate for a little segment in our next episode. Whose line is it anyway? We'll come up with the scene and say fill in the blank of this line and see what you would say and I would say. We'll try to go ahead and get that in for the next one. Look, people, when you do things like that, you bring entertainment into your show. You got to think outside the box. Everything is not all about drama and talking about people. It's all about putting together a show. Eli, I thank you for coming on. Been on for 2 hours right now. Normally it's about, I like to go about an hour to an hour and a half. We did a little bit more. That is A-okay. I thank you for stopping on by. Thank you for actually coming in and taking over half of the show. I really do appreciate that. We're gonna go ahead and do it like this and do some final words. I'm gonna give you the floor right here for the final words.
Thank you, Robert. I would yield it back to you first, but it's your channel and you're being nice to me, so I appreciate that, Robert. Once again, thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for a wonderful continued collaboration. I'm enjoying this. I've enjoyed getting to know more of you or about you and your wife and how you do things. A lot of the questions that you answered today that you allowed me to ask you, I thought it was a cool idea, Robert. It just sheds more light. And I think at some point down the road, I don't know if your wife would be willing to come on a show. Maybe we get Dawn and your wife to come on a show with us and the four of us talk about this. I think that would be pretty good. We could do that here on Hot Facts with Robert Reese if you want. And
I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, you can run it by your wife.
Like, oh no, she's sitting there like, oh no. I got to work on her, Eli.
Well,
I got to work on her. We'll make it happen. I got to work on this one.
Well, okay, that's cool. I'm just throwing it out there. No pressure, Amelia. It's all good.
No, it's pressure. I've already told her it's pressure, Eli. No, fuck that. It's pressure. Yeah, she gonna get up here. It's pressure.
Robert, you're a good dude, man. I get it. I see why your wife loves you, man, because this is the thing that women respect men that are not easily derailed by their woman, right? So if a woman says no about doing something like this, you challenging her is standing up to her. It's not, a lot of people say, oh, that's abuse. No, that's not abuse. Standing up to your woman when you know she's good at something and she's saying, no, I don't know if I can do this. And if you as a man say, baby, you got this. That's what I would tell Dawn. initially before she decided to come on. I said, baby, you're a beautiful woman. You have a great personality. You have a lot of experience. You were born to do this. I encouraged her to do it. Right. So, respect on that end. But I just appreciate you folks. I really appreciate, out of all the people that I met in the gig economy, you see who I really am. Your wife sees who I really am. And, something good came out of this for the both of us, despite, anything and everything else that has happened within the gig economy since I, was a part of the community earlier on this year. But again, Robert, thank you for having me. Thank you to you and your wife for having me here. I appreciate you, and I look forward to the next one, man. Back to you. I'll sit here and wait. I'll wait until you say the 2 and 2 at the end, right, Robert? Like Chuck Woolery?
Yeah. Eli knows people. He knows what's up. Eli, well,
I know what's up, man.
I'm gonna let you answer one more question before I give my final words. Jacob R says, I do want to ask Elias this. Why does Eli ban people for having bad gut feelings about his coaching business rather than be honest? He's saying, why do you ban them? Well, I want to give my part on that. I feel that some of the things you guys say when saying that you guys don't think he's a coach, the words and the things you guys put together makes it like you're going to get banned for saying that shit. I'm sorry. So I don't know if that, Eli, you obviously you can better explain that. That's just what I think.
Well, Robert, here's the thing. Until he can show his face and use his real name on the video, I have no respect. You're a troll in my eyes. If you don't show your name and your face, you're a troll. That's all. Bottom line. End of story.
All right. Well, that's enough said there. Now we gonna go ahead and get into these final words. So my final words, people, are make sure that when you're on YouTube and just hit the live button. Necro Getting Bags had Chaotic Truth on there, a channel that I go on all the time. I've been on there. It's been a minute, but I've been on there so many times. He just happened to hit the live button, and Necro's live was can Chuck Norris beat up Steven Seagal? And that made someone go ahead and click in. People click in on certain things to see what's going on. You don't know. You may actually like the conversation that is going on that channel, and you may learn something from that channel there. Excuse me. Open up your eyes and realize that there is much more out there than just hate. If you got so much hate, we can get up here on Hot Facts and you can debate anything you want. We'll just do it respectfully with rules.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do it with rules, then you won't be able to get up here. So it is what it is. Be kind to people out there, and show some respect because it goes a long way. Okay. Now, Eli, I am gonna do this. People, we're out of here like Chuck Woolery and 2 and 2. Now, Eli, I want you to do your ending on when you do your sit down live. When you're not doing the walk, when you're doing your sit down, be kind to each other. Can you do that? So I'm going to do the we're out of here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2, and then you come in right after with how you end yours. So we'll go ahead and get that done right now. People, you've been watching the best podcast out there, at least to start right now. We got lots to talk about. We bring it to you hot, and we don't lie about nothing. You've been watching Hot Facts and Eli, people. We out of here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2.
And with that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.
See y'all later on the next episode on Hot Facts and Eli. We out of here, people. Stop hating on us. Like StreamYard don't want me to leave. There we go. Come on, StreamYard. I'm trying to leave now. StreamYard, they want some more. Here we go. Let me go ahead and hit this button. There we go.